Eat from the floor like a pet, she said. My plate hit the hardwood with a clatter. Mashed potatoes splattered. 23 people at that table. My son's table. The table I'd made the down payment on. Nobody said a word. I stood up. 72 years old, and I stood up from that floor without using my hands, looked at every face. Then I walked out. What happened next week made her wish she'd handed me that plate like a human being. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. The Christmas lights were still up when it happened. White LEDs along the roofline of the house on Maple Street. The house I'd helped buy. $63,000 for the down payment. March 2019, I remember because it was 2 months after Martha died, and my son Derek said Mom would have wanted me to help them get settled. I pulled up at 5:30. Dinner was supposed to start at 6. I'd brought gifts. For Derek and Amanda's kids. My grandchildren Emma and Sophie, 8 and 6 years old. Also brought a bottle of wine. The good kind. $40 Cabernet from the store downtown. Derek answered the door. Dad, you're early. Traffic was light. He didn't move from the doorway. Just stood there in his button-down shirt. Red. Festive. Behind him, I could hear voices. Laughter. The house was already full. We're still setting up, he said. I held up the wine. I can help. Amanda's got it under control. He took the wine. Didn't invite me in. Maybe give us 20 minutes? 20 minutes. I'd driven 45 minutes to get here, but I nodded. Went back to my car. Sat in the cold with the engine running and the heater blowing. My phone stayed quiet. After 30 minutes, I walked back up. This time, Derek let me in. The dining room was packed. 2 tables pushed together. Folding chairs brought in from somewhere. I counted 23 people. Derek's wife Amanda had a big family. 3 sisters, 2 brothers, parents still alive, plus spouses, plus kids running everywhere. I recognized maybe 6 people. Amanda came out of the kitchen carrying a platter. Turkey, golden brown. She set it down at the head of the table, saw me standing in the doorway. Oh, Walter, you made it. Not Merry Christmas, not good to see you. Just surprised that I'd shown up. To the dinner I'd been invited to 3 weeks ago. Merry Christmas, Amanda. She smiled. The hostess smile. Professional. We're just about ready. Derek, can you help me grab the rest? I moved toward the table, looking for my seat. There were name cards, little folded pieces of cardstock with names written in silver marker. Amanda's handwriting, curly letters. I found Emma and Sophie, found Derek and Amanda, found Amanda's parents, her sisters. Everyone had a card. I walked around the table twice. No card with my name. Amanda? I stayed calm, kept my voice level. Where should I sit? She came back in carrying a bowl of stuffing. Oh, right, we had to adjust the seating. There's not really room at the table. She gestured vaguely toward the kitchen. But we set up a spot for you in there. You'll be more comfortable anyway. Quieter. The kitchen. Away from everyone. Away from my grandchildren. I don't mind the noise, I said. Well, we're kind of set now. Her smile stayed fixed, pleasant, dismissive. It's actually better this way. Trust me. Derek appeared with another dish, green bean casserole. He wouldn't look at me. I should have left then. Should have walked out the door and driven home, but Emma ran up. 8 years old, wearing a red velvet dress. Grandpa, you came! I picked her up. She hugged my neck. Wouldn't miss it, sweetheart. Did you bring presents? Emma! Amanda's voice cut sharp. What did we say about asking for presents? Emma squirmed down, ran back toward the other kids. I followed Amanda into the kitchen. There was a folding TV tray set up in the corner, next to the trash can. 1 plate, 1 fork, 1 chair. We'll bring your food in once everyone's served, Amanda said. She was already heading back to the dining room. I stood there looking at that TV tray, at the trash can 2 feet away. I could hear them starting dinner, someone saying grace. Amanda's father, his voice carrying through the doorway. Bless this family gathered here together. I sat down at the TV tray, waited. They brought my plate last, after everyone else had been served, after they'd started eating. Amanda carried it in. Turkey and mashed potatoes and green beans and stuffing all piled together. No separation, like cafeteria food. She set it down, on the TV tray. Then she picked it back up, looked at me. Her smile was different now. Not professional. Something else. Something mean. Actually, she said, I think you'll be more comfortable eating off the floor. I stared at her. Like a pet, she added. Then she bent down and set my plate on the floor, on the hardwood floor next to the trash can. The mashed potatoes were already sliding off, gravy pooling on the wood. There you go. She straightened up, smoothed her skirt. Green. Expensive looking. Enjoy your dinner, Walter. She walked back to the dining room. I heard laughter. Someone had told a joke. Or maybe they were laughing about something else. I sat in that chair, looking down at my Christmas dinner. On the floor. I'm 72 years old. I worked for 46 years at the mill, raised 2 kids, buried a wife, and my daughter-in-law had just put my food on the floor. Like I was a dog. My hands were shaking, not from age, from rage. I stood up, slowly, deliberately. Didn't use my hands for balance. Didn't use the chair, just stood up straight. 72 years old, and I can still stand from a sitting position without assistance. I walked into the dining room. All 23 people were eating, talking. Someone was pouring wine. The $40 bottle I'd brought. I didn't say anything, just looked at every face at that table. Derek wouldn't meet my eyes. Amanda was cutting her turkey, smiling at something her sister was saying. Emma looked up. Grandpa? Aren't you eating? Not tonight, sweetheart. I walked to the door, got my coat from the closet. Derek stood up, finally. Dad! Merry Christmas, I said. Then I left. I sat in my car for a moment before starting the engine. My hands were still shaking, but steady enough to drive. I pulled away from the curb, left the house with the white LED lights, left my Christmas dinner on the kitchen floor. The drive home took 45 minutes, same as the drive there. Except this time I had time to think, time to remember exactly how much I'd given them. The down payment, $63,000. March 2019. Derek had called me 2 weeks after Martha's funeral, said they'd found a house. Perfect house, great neighborhood, excellent schools for the girls. Just needed help with the down payment. 20% down gets us the best rate, Dad. Can you help? I'd helped. Wrote the check same day. Derek and Amanda closed on the house 3 weeks later. But that wasn't all. I opened my banking app when I got home, sat at my kitchen table, the same table Martha and I had eaten at for 43 years, scrolled through my transfer history. December 19th, $500. For the girls' Christmas presents, November 28th, $1,000. Car insurance came due early. October 15th, $750. Emma's braces. Insurance won't cover the full amount. September 3rd, $1,200. School supplies and new clothes for both girls. I kept scrolling. Every month. Sometimes twice a month. Always a text from Derek. Always an emergency. Always just this once. August 11th, $2,000. Air conditioner died. Can you help us out? July 4th, $300. Taking the girls to see fireworks. Little short this month. June 22nd, $1,500. Sophie needs tubes in her ears. Surgery's expensive. I went back 2 years, calculated it in my head first, then pulled out a calculator to make sure. $43,000. In transfers. Since they'd bought the house. Add the down payment. That's $106,000. In 5 years, not counting the wedding, I'd paid for half of that, $28,000. Amanda's parents paid the other half. September 2011. Reception at the Riverside Hotel. 200 guests. Open bar. Not counting the car I'd co-signed for. 2018 Honda Odyssey. Derek's credit wasn't good enough on his own. I'd made 3 payments when they fell behind. $4,700 total, not counting the smaller things. The birthday gifts, the groceries I'd bought when visiting, the gas money, the times I'd watched the girls so they could go out. 57 times last year. I'd counted them without meaning to. Every text. Can you watch Emma and Sophie tonight? I sat there until midnight, adding it up, looking at the numbers, the amounts, the dates, the pattern. $143,000 in 14 years, give or take. And tonight I'd eaten off the floor, except I hadn't eaten, because even a dog wouldn't eat food that had been deliberately put on the ground as an insult. My phone buzzed around 12:30. Derek. Dad, Amanda feels bad about the seating arrangement. It wasn't personal. I stared at the text. Seating arrangement. That's what he was calling it. I didn't respond. Turned off my phone. Went to bed. Slept better than I had in weeks. The next morning, I called my lawyer, Thomas Brennan. I'd used him for the will after Martha died. Good man. Straightforward. Didn't waste time. Tom, I need to make some changes. To the will? To everything. We met at his office December 27th, 10 in the morning. His secretary brought coffee. Tom had his legal pad ready. What are we changing, Walter? Derek's inheritance. I want him removed as a beneficiary. Tom set down his pen. That's a significant change. Can I ask why? I told him about Christmas, about the plate, about the kitchen floor. Tom's face didn't change. Lawyer face, professional. But his jaw tightened. I see, he said. And you're certain about this? Completely. What about your grandchildren? Set up trusts. For Emma and Sophie. They get access when they turn 25, not before. Derek and Amanda don't touch it. Tom made notes. Your estate is primarily the house and your pension, correct? And the life insurance. $250,000. Current beneficiary, Derek. And you want to change that to the trusts? No. I'd thought about this all night. Lay awake planning it. I want to change it to charity. Split it. Habitat for Humanity. And the food bank downtown. The one Martha used to volunteer at. Tom wrote it down. And the house? Sell it when I die. Proceeds go to the trusts. That's very generous to your grandchildren. It's not generous. It's fair. They didn't put my dinner on the floor. Tom looked up. Walter, I have to ask, is there any chance Derek will contest this? He can try. If you're worried about a competency challenge, we should document your mental state. I can arrange for an evaluation. Do it. He scheduled it for December 30th. Dr. Patricia Vance, psychiatrist. Her office was in the medical building downtown. She asked me questions for 90 minutes. Memory tests. Problem solving. Current events. Basic cognitive function. She wrote her evaluation on the spot. Mr. Brennan, you score in the 96th percentile for your age group. Your cognitive function is excellent. Memory recall is sharp. Reasoning is sound. There's no indication of diminished capacity. Can you put that in writing? I just did. She handed me the report. 3 pages. Official letterhead. Her signature at the bottom. I took it directly to Tom's office. He made copies. Put the original in my file. This is solid documentation, he said. If Derek challenges your competency, this report will carry weight. Good. When do you want the new will executed? Today. We finalized it that afternoon. Tom had 2 staff members witness my signature, Linda and Robert. I'd never met them before. That was intentional. Impartial witnesses. Tom put the will in his safe. Gave me a copy for my records. One more thing, I said. The bank accounts where I've been transferring money to Derek. I want to close the ability for external transfers. You'll need to do that at the bank. I went to First National on my way home. Spoke to Brenda at the customer service desk. She'd worked there 20 years, knew me by name. I need to remove my son Derek from any access to my accounts and disable external transfers unless I initiate them in person. Brenda's smile faltered. Is everything all right, Walter? Everything's fine. I just need better control over my accounts. She made the changes, had me sign new paperwork. Derek won't be able to see your balance anymore, and you'll need to come in person to set up any transfers over $500. Perfect. I drove home, put the will copy in my fire safe, put the cognitive evaluation in there too. Sat down at my kitchen table. My phone had 12 missed calls, all from Derek, 6 voicemails. I listened to them in order. Message 1. Dad, call me back. We need to talk. Message 2. Dad, seriously. Amanda's upset. She didn't mean anything by the seating thing. Message 3. Dad, this is ridiculous. You're being really immature. Message 4. Dad, my mortgage payment is due Friday. The transfer didn't go through. Did you change something? Message 5. Dad, what the fuck? The bank says you restricted the account. Call me now. Message 6. You're really going to do this? Over a misunderstanding? Jesus Christ, Dad. Grow up. Grow up. I'm 72 years old. My son just told me to grow up. I didn't call back. Instead, I texted. Short message. Factual. I've made changes to my financial arrangements. You'll need to cover your own expenses going forward. Derek's response came in 30 seconds. Are you fucking kidding me? Then another text. This is because of Christmas? You're seriously cutting me off because Amanda made a seating mistake? Seating mistake. That's the second time he'd called it that. I typed back. It wasn't a seating mistake. She put my plate on the floor, said I should eat like a pet. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. She was joking. You know Amanda's sense of humor. I set down my phone. Didn't respond. Some things don't deserve a response. The calls continued. All day December 28th. All day December 29th. I didn't answer. Let them go to voicemail. Deleted them without listening. December 30th. Amanda herself called. I answered. Curious what she'd say. Walter. Her voice was sweet. Too sweet. I think there's been a misunderstanding. No misunderstanding. I was teasing you at Christmas. It was a joke. You know I love you like a father. You put my food on the floor. I was being playful. I didn't think you'd take it seriously. She laughed. Light. Dismissive. You're not actually mad about that, are you? Yes. Silence on the other end. Then her voice changed. The sweetness gone. Derek says you cut off his access to your accounts. That's correct. Walter, we have bills. We have a mortgage. We budget based on your help. Then you need a new budget. You can't just... She stopped, breath coming faster. You're being incredibly selfish. I'm being selfish. Yes, we have children to think about. Emma and Sophie need stability. They do. So you'll reinstate the transfers? No. Her voice went cold. You're going to regret this. She hung up. January 2nd, Derek showed up at my house. Didn't call first, just appeared at 7 in the evening. Rang the doorbell 5 times. I opened the door. Didn't invite him in. We need to talk, he said. About what? About you throwing a tantrum and punishing your whole family. I looked at my son. 6 feet tall, 43 years old, wearing a North Face jacket I'd bought him for his birthday 2 years ago. $200. I'm not punishing anyone, I said. I'm just not giving you money anymore. You promised you'd help us. Help is temporary. This has been going on for 5 years. Because we need it. You think I like asking my father for money? Yes, I said. I think you do, because you keep doing it. His face flushed. That's bullshit. You called 6 times in 2 days, all about money. Not once did you apologize for what Amanda did. She already apologized. No, she said it was a joke. That's not an apology. Derek stepped closer. You know what I think? I think you're losing it. I think you've been off since Mom died. There it was. The competency attack Tom had predicted. I had a cognitive evaluation 3 days ago, I said. Perfect score, 96th percentile for my age. Want to see the report? That stopped him. You had a... Why would you do that? Because I knew you'd try this. Try what? Question my mental state to justify taking my money. He stared at me. You're paranoid. I'm prepared. Dad. His voice shifted, softer, pleading. Come on, this is me. We're family. Yes, we are. Which makes what happened at Christmas even worse. It was a bad joke. How many times do we have to say it? You don't have to say anything. You just have to handle your own finances. What about the girls? You're really going to abandon your grandchildren? I've set up trusts for Emma and Sophie. They'll have money when they turn 25. Trusts? His voice rose. What the hell, Dad? That's our money. Our money. Not the girls' money. Our money. It's my money, I said. And I'll distribute it how I see fit. You can't do this. I already did. Derek's hands clenched. For a second, I thought he might actually take a swing at me. But he didn't. Just turned and walked back to his car, slammed the door hard enough that I heard it from the porch. He peeled out of my driveway, left rubber marks on the concrete. I went back inside, locked the door, made myself dinner, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, green beans, ate it at my table, like a human being. January 5th, I got a letter. Certified mail. I had to sign for it. It was from a lawyer. Not Tom. Someone named Patricia Henderson. Family law attorney based downtown. The letter was 2 pages. Legal language. But the message was clear. Derek and Amanda were threatening to sue for grandparent alienation. They were claiming I was mentally unstable and attempting to manipulate my estate to harm their family. They were demanding reinstatement of financial support and threatening to seek a restraining order if I continued harassing them. Harassing them. I'd answered 1 phone call, sent 1 text, and I was harassing them. I called Tom immediately. They're bluffing, he said after I read him the letter. Grandparent alienation isn't grounds for financial support. And they'd have to prove you're mentally incompetent, which they can't do. What do I do? Nothing. Let them file if they want. We have documentation. We have your evaluation. We have a clearly stated will that shows testamentary capacity. They have nothing. Should I respond? Not directly. I'll send a letter to Patricia Henderson, attorney to attorney. We'll make it clear you're competent and within your rights. Tom sent his letter January 6th. I got a copy. 3 paragraphs. Professional, but firm. Basically said, my client is mentally sound, financially independent, and under no obligation to support adult children. Any further harassment will be documented. I didn't hear from Patricia Henderson again, but I did hear from Amanda's sister, Nicole. She called January 8th. Walter, I think there's been a misunderstanding. Second time someone had used that exact phrase. What misunderstanding? Amanda says you're upset about Christmas, but she was just teasing. You know how she is. I know exactly how she is. She feels terrible, really. She's been crying about it. Then she should apologize. She did apologize. No. She said it was a joke. That's different. Nicole sighed. Look, Walter, I'm calling because Derek's really struggling right now, financially. They might lose the house. That's unfortunate. Can you help them? Just until Derek gets on his feet? No. Walter, please. Think about Emma and Sophie. They're your grandchildren. I have thought about them. I set up trusts. Trusts they can't access for years. They need help now. They need parents who can budget properly. Nicole's voice hardened. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. She hung up. Didn't say goodbye. January 10th, the Facebook post went up. I don't have Facebook. Haven't since Martha died. But my neighbor Barbara showed me on her phone the next morning. Barbara's 70. Lives 2 doors down. We've been neighbors for 38 years. She brought over coffee cake and her iPad. Walter, I think you should see this. The post was from Amanda. 6 paragraphs. Public. Posted to her timeline where all her friends could see. It started, heartbroken tonight. My husband's father has decided to abandon our family over a misunderstanding at Christmas dinner. Despite everything we've done for him since his wife passed, he's cutting off all support and threatening our ability to keep our home. It continued. Walter has been struggling since Martha died. We've tried to include him in family events, but he's become increasingly paranoid and angry. This Christmas he stormed out of dinner, and now he's punishing us financially and emotionally. It ended. Please pray for our family, and especially for Walter, who is clearly going through something difficult. We love him and want him to get help. 347 reactions. Most of them the sad face. 123 comments. I scrolled through them. Barbara, watching over my shoulder. So sad. Praying for you all. Grief does terrible things to people. Hope he gets the help he needs. You're such a good daughter-in-law for still caring about him. One comment from someone named Jennifer. Girl, you are a saint for putting up with this. My father-in-law pulled the same crap. Cut him off and don't look back. Amanda had liked that comment. Barbara looked at me. Walter, what actually happened at Christmas? I told her. Everything. The TV tray, the kitchen floor, the plate. Barbara's face went hard. She did not. She did. And now she's posting this? Barbara took back her iPad, started typing. Oh, absolutely not. Barbara, no, this is slander. This is... She stopped, looked up. Do you want me to comment? Set the record straight? No. Let her have her Facebook sympathy. But people believe her. People who don't know me, let them believe what they want. Barbara shook her head, but she didn't comment, just closed Facebook. You're a better man than I am, Walter. I'm just tired of fighting. But the fighting wasn't done. January 15th, Adult Protective Services showed up at my door. 2 women, mid-30s, professional clothes. One of them had a clipboard. Mr. Brennan, I'm Sarah Mitchell with APS. This is my colleague Jennifer Torres. We received a report of concern about your welfare. Can we come in? I let them in, made coffee, sat at the kitchen table. Sarah had her clipboard ready. We received a report that you may be experiencing cognitive decline and making unusual financial decisions. The report also suggested you might be living in unsafe conditions. Who filed the report? We can't disclose that, but we're required to follow up. I stood up, went to my fire safe, pulled out the cognitive evaluation, handed it to Sarah. She read it, looked up. This is dated December 30th. 3 days after my son decided I was incompetent. Jennifer Torres looked around the kitchen. Clean counters, no dishes in the sink, no smell, no clutter. Your home appears well maintained. That's because I maintain it. Sarah closed her clipboard. Mr. Brennan, I'll be honest. This looks like a family dispute, not a protective services issue. Your evaluation is clear. Your home is clean. You're obviously articulate and oriented. My son and his wife want me declared incompetent so they can access my money. That's not something APS handles. That would be a civil court matter. They left after 20 minutes. Sarah gave me her card. If you need resources or support, call us. But from what I can see, you're doing fine. I closed the door behind them, sat back down at the kitchen table, looked at my phone. No messages from Derek, no calls. Just silence. He'd reported me to APS, his own father, because I wouldn't give him money. I called Tom. Document everything, Tom said. Keep a log, date, time, what happened. If they escalate, we'll need a record. Escalate to what? I don't know. But people who file false APS reports don't usually stop there. I started a notebook. Simple spiral-bound thing from the drugstore. Wrote down every interaction, every call, every text, every letter. Put dates and times. Kept it factual. January 20th. Derek called. I answered. The APS visit didn't work, he said. No greeting, just accusation. I know. Because you're not actually incompetent. You're just an asshole. I didn't respond. You realize you're destroying this family, right? I'm not destroying anything. I'm just not funding your lifestyle anymore. My lifestyle? I work 60 hours a week. Then you should be able to pay your own mortgage. You don't understand economics. You don't understand what it costs to raise kids now. I raised 2 kids, put them through college, on a mill worker's salary. That was different. Everything was cheaper. Everything was cheaper because we didn't buy things we couldn't afford. Derek laughed, bitter. Right, the old back in my day speech. Thanks, Dad. Real helpful. You asked. I didn't ask for a lecture. I asked for basic family support. Basic family support doesn't include putting me on the floor at Christmas. Silence. Then, we've apologized for that. No, you've explained it, justified it, minimized it. But nobody's apologized. What do you want? You want Amanda to grovel? I want her to acknowledge that what she did was cruel. She was joking. It wasn't funny. Derek exhaled hard. Fine. You know what? Fine. Keep your money, keep your house, keep everything, but don't expect to see your grandchildren anymore. Are you threatening me? I'm stating reality. You want to cut us off? We're cutting you off too. Emma and Sophie don't need a grandfather who abandoned them. I didn't abandon them. You abandoned their parents. Same thing. He hung up. I sat there holding the phone, wrote in my notebook, January 20th, 7:43 p.m. Derek threatened to withhold access to grandchildren. That night I couldn't sleep. Lay in bed thinking about Emma and Sophie, 8 and 6. They didn't understand any of this. Didn't know why Grandpa wasn't coming around anymore. Or maybe Derek and Amanda were telling them stories, making me the villain. Grandpa doesn't want to see you anymore. Grandpa cares more about money than family. I stared at the ceiling. The same ceiling I'd looked at for 43 years. Martha's side of the bed was still empty. Some mornings I still reached over expecting to find her there. She would have known what to do. She was better at this, better at family, better at smoothing things over. But Martha was gone, and I was handling this alone. February brought silence. No calls, no texts, no letters. Derek and Amanda went quiet. I saw their Facebook posts through Barbara, who checked periodically. Photos of the girls. Updates about soccer practice and school projects. Normal family life. As if I'd never existed. Valentine's Day. Amanda posted a photo. Derek and her at a restaurant. Caption, "Date night with my forever Valentine. So grateful for this man and our beautiful family." 236 likes. Dozens of comments. Nobody mentioned me. I'd been edited out. Erased. March 3rd was Emma's 9th birthday. I sent a card. Put $50 inside. Mailed it to their house. It came back. Returned to sender. Not at this address. They still lived at that address. I drove by once. Saw Derek's car in the driveway. They just refused delivery. Sent my granddaughter's birthday card back unopened. I put the card and the $50 in a box. Started a collection. Would save them until Emma turned 25. Give them to her with the trust. March turned to April. Still silence. I went to church on Sundays. First Baptist. Same church I'd attended for 50 years. Same church where Derek and Amanda had gotten married. Amanda's parents went there too. I saw them across the sanctuary. They didn't wave, didn't acknowledge me. Just looked away. After service, Pastor Jim found me in the parking lot. "Walter, can we talk?" We sat in his office. Cramped little room behind the sanctuary. Books everywhere. Coffee maker in the corner. "I've heard about the situation with Derek and Amanda," Jim said. "I'm sure you have. They're hurting, Walter. Really struggling." "I know. Is there any way to reconcile? For the sake of the family?" I looked at Pastor Jim. He'd married Martha and me 39 years ago, baptized both my kids, presided over Martha's funeral. "Jim, did they tell you what happened at Christmas?" Amanda mentioned there was a misunderstanding about seating arrangements. "She put my plate on the floor, told me to eat like a pet." Jim's face changed. "She said that? In front of 23 people." He sat back. "They didn't mention that part." "No, I don't imagine they did." "Walter, I'm sorry. I didn't know. It's fine. But you should know I'm not the one who needs to reconcile. I'm just the one who stopped paying for my own humiliation. Jim nodded slowly. I understand. But I wondered if he did. I wondered if anyone did who hadn't been in that kitchen, who hadn't seen their Christmas dinner on the floor next to the trash can. May 12th, I got a text from an unknown number. This is Nicole, Amanda's sister. Can we meet for coffee? I didn't respond immediately. Waited a day, then texted back. Why? I want to talk. No agenda, just coffee. We met at Java House downtown. Neutral territory. Nicole was already there when I arrived, sitting in the corner, 2 coffees on the table. I got you a regular coffee, she said. Hope that's okay. It's fine. I sat down. Didn't drink the coffee. Didn't know what she might have said to the barista. Paranoid? Maybe. But I'd learned to be careful. Nicole looked tired. Thank you for meeting me. What do you want to talk about? Derek and Amanda are about to lose the house. I know. You know? And you're okay with that? I'm not okay with it, but it's not my responsibility. Walter, please. They have kids. Your grandchildren. I'm aware. Nicole leaned forward. If they lose the house, Emma and Sophie will have to change schools, leave their friends. It'll be traumatic. Then Derek and Amanda should figure out their finances. They can't. Not without your help. Then they bought a house they couldn't afford. Nicole's face flushed. You helped them buy it. You gave them the down payment. You can't just let them lose it now. Watch me. She stared at me. What happened to you? Martha would be ashamed. That landed. I felt it in my chest, sharp and cold. But I kept my voice level. Martha would be ashamed of what Amanda did at Christmas, not of how I responded. It was a joke. Stop calling it that. It wasn't a joke. It was cruelty. Nicole grabbed her purse. I thought maybe we could reason with you. But Amanda was right. You're just a bitter old man who cares more about being right than about family. She left. Didn't finish her coffee. I sat there alone for a while, then got up and left too. Didn't touch the coffee she'd bought me. June came, then July. Still no contact from Derek or Amanda. I had been effectively cut off from my grandchildren for 6 months. I thought about showing up at their house, demanding to see Emma and Sophie, but Tom had advised against it. Let them make the first move, he'd said. Document the alienation. If it comes to court, you want to show you respected their boundaries, even when they were punishing you. So I waited, and documented, and lived my life. July 23rd. My neighbor Barbara knocked on my door. She looked excited. Walter, you need to see this. She pulled up Facebook on her phone. Derek's page this time, a post from 3 hours ago. With heavy hearts, we're saying goodbye to our home on Maple Street. Despite our best efforts, we can't afford to stay. Thank you to everyone who supported us through this difficult time. We'll never forget the people who stood by us when family abandoned us. Comments poured in. Sympathy. Outrage. Several people directly attacking me by name. One comment from someone named Robert. Your dad should be ashamed. What kind of man lets his grandchildren suffer? Another from Lisa. Praying for you guys. You're better off without toxic family members. Derek had responded to that one. Thanks. We're learning who our real family is. Barbara looked at me. He's really milking this. He is. Doesn't it make you angry? Not anymore. How can you be so calm? Because I know the truth. Everyone else can believe what they want. But that night, alone in my house, I wasn't calm. I was tired. Tired of being the villain. Tired of watching my son perform his victimhood for social media. Tired of missing my grandchildren. I almost called him. Almost said I'd reinstate the money. Just to see Emma and Sophie again. But then I thought about that plate on the floor. About Amanda's smile. About Derek standing there saying nothing, doing nothing. And I didn't call. August 14th, Derek and Amanda moved out of the house. I heard about it from Barbara, who heard about it at the grocery store. They'd sold it. Short sale. Took a loss. Moved into a rental across town. August 20th, I got a letter. Hand-delivered to my mailbox. No stamp, just my name on the envelope. Inside was a birthday card. For me. My birthday was August 18th. 2 days earlier. I'd turned 73 alone, made myself dinner, watched TV, went to bed. The card was from Emma and Sophie. Their handwriting. Crayon drawings on the front. Dear Grandpa, we miss you. Why don't you visit anymore? Love, Emma and Sophie. My hands shook holding that card. They'd been told I didn't want to see them. Derek's words from January echoed, Emma and Sophie don't need a grandfather who abandoned them. He'd poisoned them against me. Made me the one who'd left. When I'd been cut off for refusing to be treated like a dog, I put the card in the box with Emma's returned birthday card. Evidence. Documentation. Proof of parental alienation. Called Tom the next morning. Can I get visitation rights? Legally? In this state, grandparents can petition for visitation if they can prove it's in the children's best interest. But it's an uphill battle. Parents have broad rights to control who sees their kids. Even if they're lying to the kids about why I'm not around? You'd have to prove that. And even then, the court is unlikely to force visitation if the parents object. So I have no recourse. Not legally. Your only option is reconciliation. On their terms? Probably. I thanked Tom and hung up. Sat at my kitchen table. The house was quiet. Too quiet. No grandchildren's voices. No family dinners. No holidays planned. Just silence and memory. September 12th, I got a call from an unknown number. Didn't recognize it. Almost didn't answer. But I did. Hello? Mr. Brennan? This is Detective Marcus Chen with the police department. I'd like to ask you some questions about a report we received. My chest tightened. What kind of report? Can you come down to the station? This afternoon if possible. Am I being accused of something? We just need to talk. It's better in person. I drove to the police station. Small building downtown. Detective Chen met me in the lobby. Mid-40s. Professional. Led me to an interview room. Mr. Brennan, we received a report that you've been harassing your son and daughter-in-law. Multiple unwanted contacts. Threatening messages. The report also suggests you've made threats regarding your grandchildren. That's not true. Can you tell me about your relationship with your son Derek? I told him. Everything, starting with Christmas dinner, the plate on the floor, the financial support I'd withdrawn, the APS report they'd filed, the alienation from my grandchildren. Detective Chen took notes, listened without interrupting. When I finished, he said, "Do you have documentation?" "Yes." "Bring it in. Everything. Texts, emails, letters, whatever you have." I went home, got my notebook, got copies of bank statements showing the transfers I'd stopped, got the APS report showing they'd investigated and found nothing, got the cognitive evaluation, got the returned birthday card, brought it all back to the station. Detective Chen reviewed it for 30 minutes, then looked up. "Mr. Brennan, based on this documentation, I don't see evidence of harassment on your part. In fact, it looks like your son and daughter-in-law are the ones creating problems. So, no charges?" "No charges. I'll note in the report that we investigated and found the complaint unfounded." I drove home, added it to my notebook. September 12th, police investigation. No charges. Complaint unfounded. Tom was right. They were escalating. Each attempt more desperate than the last. But I was documented, prepared, protected. October 15th was Sophie's 7th birthday. I sent another card, $50 inside, mailed it to their new address. This one didn't come back. But I didn't get a thank you call either. November brought cold weather, early frost. I spent my days working in the garage, building things, bookshelves, a toy chest for grandchildren I couldn't see. Barbara checked on me regularly, brought food sometimes, sat at my kitchen table drinking coffee. "Have you heard from Derek?" she'd ask. "No. What will you do for Thanksgiving?" "Same as last year. Stay home. Come to our house. Jim and I would love to have you." "I appreciate it, but I'm fine alone. Thanksgiving Day, I made a turkey breast, mashed potatoes, green beans, ate at my table, watched football, went to bed early. December came. Christmas lights went up around the neighborhood. Not on my house. Didn't see the point. December 20th, I got a text from Derek. First contact in 11 months. The girls want to see you for Christmas. I stared at the message. 11 months of silence. Then this. I texted back, I'd like that. 3 dots appeared. Then, you can come to Christmas dinner. We're having it at our new place. My jaw tightened. Christmas dinner, again. What time? 5 o'clock, December 25th. I'll be there. No response after that, just silence again. I told Barbara the next day. She looked worried. Walter, are you sure that's a good idea? I want to see Emma and Sophie. But after everything that's happened, I know, but they're my grandchildren. Barbara shook her head. Just be careful. December 25th arrived cold and clear. I dressed carefully. Khakis, button-down shirt, sweater Martha had given me years ago. Dark blue. I bought gifts for the girls. Nothing expensive. Books mostly. Age appropriate. Wrapped them myself. Drove to Derek and Amanda's new place. Small rental house. 1 story. Chain-link fence. Concrete driveway cracked in places. I parked on the street. Walked to the door. Knocked. Derek answered. Dad. Hello, Derek. He didn't hug me. Didn't invite me in right away. Just looked at me. Then stepped back. Come in. The house was smaller than their old place. Living room and kitchen combined. Furniture I recognized from Maple Street crammed into less space. Emma and Sophie were sitting on the couch. They looked up when I came in. Sophie smiled. Emma's face was uncertain. Hi, girls. Hi, Grandpa, Sophie said. Emma didn't say anything. Amanda came from the kitchen. She was wearing an apron. Walter, glad you could make it. Her voice was neutral. Not warm, not cold. Just careful. Thank you for inviting me. Dinner's almost ready. We're eating in the dining area. The dining area was part of the kitchen. 1 table, 6 chairs, much smaller than the setup last year. I handed Derek the gifts for the girls. These are for Emma and Sophie. You didn't have to do that. I wanted to. Derek set them under a small Christmas tree in the corner, artificial, maybe 4 feet tall. We sat down for dinner. Me, Derek, Amanda, Emma, Sophie, and Amanda's mother, Carol. 6 people, tight around the table. The meal was simpler than last year. Turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce from a can, rolls. No extended family, no crowd. Amanda said grace. Bless this food and this family. Help us to forgive and move forward. Amen. Forgive. Interesting word choice. We ate in near silence. Emma and Sophie talked about school, about their new friends, about their new rooms. Derek and Amanda answered questions, but didn't add much. Carol kept looking at me, evaluating, judging. After dinner, the girls opened presents. They thanked me for the books. Polite but distant, like I was a stranger. At 7 o'clock, Derek stood up. Dad, can we talk? Outside? We went to the back porch, small concrete slab, 2 plastic chairs. Derek closed the door behind us. I want to make things right. Okay. But I need you to understand something first. What happened last year at Christmas? That wasn't okay. Amanda knows that now. She's sorry. Is she going to tell me that? She's embarrassed. It's hard for her. It was hard for me to eat off the floor. Derek flinched. I know. And I'm sorry I didn't say something then. I should have stood up for you. Yes, you should have. I'm saying it now. I'm sorry, and Amanda's sorry, and we want to move forward. What does moving forward look like? Derek shifted in his chair. We need help, Dad. The rent here is killing us, and we're still recovering from losing the house. There it was. The real reason for the invitation. You want me to give you money again. I want you to help your family, like you used to. Help has conditions now. What conditions? Respect. Basic human respect. You have our respect. Do I? Because 11 months ago Amanda put my food on the floor, and you told me I'd never see my grandchildren again if I didn't give you money. Derek's face hardened. I was angry. I said things I didn't mean. Did you? Or did you mean them and now you regret them because you need money? That's not fair. Fair? You want to talk about fair? We stared at each other, father and son. Strangers now. Derek spoke first. What do you want from us? I want Amanda to apologize. Really apologize. Not through you, not on Facebook, to my face. She's not going to do that. Then we have nothing to talk about. Dad, I'm done, Derek. I'm done being your ATM. I'm done being treated like a problem to manage. I'm done with all of it. I stood up, walked back inside, found Emma and Sophie. Girls, Grandpa has to go now. Sophie hugged me. Emma hesitated, then hugged me too. I left through the front door, got in my car, drove home. My phone rang before I reached my street. Derek, you walked out again. Just like last year. No, last year you humiliated me. This year I left because I refused to be manipulated. You're unbelievable. I'm consistent. You're the one who keeps changing the rules. Don't expect another invitation. I won't. He hung up. I drove home, parked in my garage, sat in the car for a long time. Then I went inside. Made myself tea, sat at my kitchen table, the same table where Martha and I had shared 43 years of meals. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. This is Amanda. I'm sorry for what happened last Christmas. It was wrong. I hope we can move past it. I read it 3 times, typed a response, deleted it, typed again. Thank you for the apology. That was all. No promises, no commitments. Her response came immediately. Does that mean you'll help us with rent? I set down my phone. Didn't respond. Some apologies are real. Some are transactions. This was a transaction. January 2nd, I got a call from Tom. Walter, I wanted to give you a heads up. Derek's attorney contacted me. They're planning to contest your will. On what grounds? Undue influence from outside parties. They're claiming someone convinced you to disinherit Derek. That's absurd. I know. But they're filing anyway. It'll go nowhere, but you should be aware. Let them file. We'll fight it. But Walter, this is going to get uglier before it gets better. It's already ugly. I hung up, made a note in my notebook, added it to the documentation. February brought snow, March brought thaw, April brought rain. I lived my life, went to church, had coffee with Barbara, worked in my garage, kept myself busy. The lawsuit never materialized. Apparently, Derek's attorney advised him it wasn't worth filing. May 15th was Emma's 10th birthday. I sent a card, $50 inside. This time I got a text. Thank you, Grandpa. Love, Emma. Someone had made her send it, but I didn't care. It was contact. I texted back. Happy birthday, sweetheart. I love you. No response after that. June 3rd, I had a heart attack. Minor one. Felt pain in my chest while mowing the lawn. Barbara found me sitting on the porch 20 minutes later, called 911. I spent 3 days in the hospital. Stents placed. Medication prescribed. Doctors said I was lucky. Barbara called Derek to tell him. He showed up on day 2, alone. Hey, Dad. Derek. He sat in the chair next to my bed. Looked uncomfortable. How are you feeling? Tired. Doctor says you'll be fine. Just need to take it easy. That's the plan. Silence. Then Derek said, I was scared when Barbara called. I'm all right. You could have died. Eventually, I will. Dad, I'm 73, Derek. I've had a good life. I'm not afraid of dying. His eyes got wet. I don't want to lose you. Then don't cut me out of your life. You cut us out. No, I stopped funding you. That's different. Derek looked at his hands. I miss Mom. Me too. She'd know how to fix this. She'd tell you to apologize to me, really apologize, and to treat me like family instead of a bank. Derek nodded slowly. You're right. She would. He left after 30 minutes. Didn't apologize, but didn't ask for money either. I went home June 6th. Barbara drove me, set me up with groceries and medication, checked on me daily for the next week. You need family right now, she said. Not just neighbors. You're the best family I've got. She hugged me. Well, you're stuck with us. July came, then August. My 74th birthday passed quietly. Card from Emma and Sophie in the mail. No money returned this time. They'd kept it. Progress. Small. But progress. September 8th, my phone rang. Derek. Dad, can we talk? About what? Everything. Can I come over? When? Now? All right. He arrived 20 minutes later. Sat at my kitchen table. The table I'd built. The table where we'd had 1,000 family meals. Dad, I owe you an apology. I waited. What happened at Christmas 2 years ago? That was wrong. Amanda knows it. I know it. We should have said something then. We should have stood up for you. Yes, you should have. And I'm sorry for everything after. The manipulation, the Facebook posts, the police report, all of it. I looked at my son. He'd aged. Lines around his eyes, gray in his hair. Do you actually mean that? Or do you need money again? I mean it. And yes, we need money. But I'm not asking for it. I'm just apologizing because you deserve an apology. I sat back. Thank you. Can we start over? Not go back to how things were, but maybe find something new. Like what? Like family, real family, where we see each other, where Emma and Sophie know their grandfather, where we don't keep score about money. I never kept score until you made me the score. I know, and I'm sorry. We talked for 2 hours. About Martha, about the girls, about Derek's job, about my health, about nothing and everything. When he left, he hugged me. I love you, Dad. I love you too. It wasn't fixed, not completely, but it was a start. October brought visits. Derek brought the girls over on Saturdays sometimes. We'd have lunch. I'd show them projects in the garage. They'd tell me about school. Amanda didn't come, not yet, but she sent polite texts, thanking me for having the girls, hoping I was feeling well. Small steps. November 24th, Thanksgiving, I got an invitation. Dad, want to come for dinner? Just us. Small and simple. I went. 6 people around a small table. Derek, Amanda, Emma, Sophie, Carol, and me. Amanda set my plate in front of me. At the table, like a human being. Thank you, I said. She met my eyes. You're welcome, Walter. We ate, talked, laughed. It was awkward sometimes, but it was family. After dinner, Amanda found me on the back porch. Same porch where Derek and I had talked last Christmas. Walter, I owe you an apology. Derek already apologized. I need to say it myself. What I did 2 years ago, putting your plate on the floor, that was cruel. I was showing off for my family, being mean. And I'm sorry. Thank you. I don't expect you to forget it, but I hope eventually you can forgive it. I looked at her, my daughter-in-law, mother of my grandchildren, imperfect, human, capable of cruelty, also capable of apology. I forgive it, I said, but I won't forget it. Fair enough? We went back inside. I stayed until 8. Emma and Sophie hugged me goodbye. December came. Christmas lights went up. This time I put some on my house. Just a simple strand along the roof line. December 25th, I spent Christmas with my family. Derek, Amanda, Emma, Sophie. We exchanged gifts, ate dinner, played games. I sat at the table, my plate in front of me, right where it belonged. Amanda caught my eye, gave me a small smile. Acknowledgement, understanding. The money didn't come back. I didn't offer. Derek didn't ask. They figured out their budget, adjusted their expectations, lived within their means. The trusts stayed in place. Emma and Sophie would get their inheritance at 25. Not before. The will stayed unchanged. Derek's portion reduced, but we didn't talk about it. Some consequences are permanent. January brought snow. February brought thaw. March brought renewal. I'm 74 now. Heart condition managed. Health stable. Family complicated but present. I see my grandchildren twice a month. Sometimes more. They know me now. Really know me. Not as an ATM, as Grandpa. Derek and I talk. Really talk. About things that matter. About Martha. About regrets. About moving forward. Amanda and I are cordial. Polite. There's distance still, but there's respect. I don't regret standing up for myself. Don't regret protecting my dignity. Don't regret setting boundaries. That Christmas dinner 2 years ago, the plate on the floor, it changed everything. Showed me who I'd become. An ATM with a pulse. A wallet with a heartbeat. Standing up meant losing them for a while, but staying down would have meant losing myself forever. Some prices are worth paying. Some boundaries are worth defending. I defended mine. And eventually, slowly, painfully, we found our way back. Not to what we were, but to something honest. Something real. Family built on respect instead of obligation. On choice instead of expectation. It's not perfect, but it's true. And truth is better than the alternative. If you like this story, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to more stories, click on the window on the right. Thank you for being with us.